So today we're looking at another charger. This is the C4 Smart Charger alongside the BT C3100 and my nice and old VC4, X-Tar VC4. So this is the one I've used for a long time. I love it. It does nickel metal hydride and lithium batteries. And the BT C3100 does exactly the same as this VC4 basically. But it also has some extra functions, which is charge and discharge and refresh and quick test. Didn't like the quick test function, didn't seem to work very well. Not sure why, I don't know about all the chemistry related things to that, but discharge function wise, it was fine. Gave you a readout of how many milliamp hours it got out of a battery. So today we're going to be looking at this one, which does a very similar job. This one I think is more expensive than the BT C3100, but I'll put a link in the description so you can find it. This one was given to me by Banggood to do a little video on, but there are lots of other places that sell it, so do look around. But I'll put a link to Banggood and another place that I find. Let's get inside. So, I can't open it. So this box was wrapped in cellophane, which I've taken off before I started the camera. It's one of those vacuum seal type deals. Oh look, that's lovely, isn't it? You get some nice decals. I think these are those kind that you have to put on with water, are they not? No, they are sticky. I have no idea why you'd want to use those. Then we've got the operating instructions. Oh gosh, it looks fairly complicated. Okay, let me go away and read these very quickly and then we'll come back. Okay, so there wasn't an awful lot here actually. It turns out, while this is quite a thick manual, there are just lots of languages, and really there's only 4 pages. So it looks fairly simple. Looks like you can access most things through the menu. So what do we get? Really? Okay, well it comes with a screen protector like you would get on a mobile phone. Okay, I'm not sure I'll use that because this isn't going to be battered around a lot. It's literally going to just sit on my desk. Oh look, there we go. So this is the unit. It's quite a lot smaller than the BT C3100, isn't it? But it has similar... Does it have similar? Well, maybe it does. I thought it had similar capabilities, so we'll find out, I guess. So let's get that. How do we get that thing off? Oh, I wish I didn't bite my nails. Oh, I've got it. That's gone. Good. So then we've got the charger here. Let's have a look at this before we do anything else. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 slots for AA size or AAA size, and then there are 2 for 18650 and 1 here for 26650. I've never heard of that size before. On the back we've got just some details about it. Output voltage 0.2 volts to 5 volts. Input 2.5 amps at 12 volts. USB output, there's a USB on here, is there? Nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, nickel zinc, lithium ion, lithium HV, don't know. Lithium iron phosphate, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know what lithium high voltage, that's not right, is it? Maximum output current 3.8 amps per slot. And then on the top, probably not in focus, but you'll see the details enough. We've got a fan, and there's our USB port, and USB input as well, and a DC input too. It doesn't say whether it's center, oh it does, just here, input voltage, center pole positive is what we're looking for. And that is all she wrote. Is there anything else on the box that's important to note? Not really, it's exactly what I've just looked at really. Let's have a look in here. Sorry about the squeaky noises. And this is our power supply, and that is everything. So the power supply, fairly difficult to read here. Oh no, it's okay. So we've got switching adapter. Well, that's not a surprise. 100 to 240 volts, output 12 volts at 2.5 amps. So that's fine. In fact, we could even, I think this one was only 2, wasn't it? The other one? Oh no, that one was, you can't read that. That was 3 3 amps. So this one's only a 2.5 amp one. Gonna have to use this thing. Wait, I guess it doesn't matter which way around it goes. Oh God, that's horrible, isn't it? Never mind. Now, is it touchscreen? I don't know if it said it was. Hang on. No, I guess it just uses this thing on the side. So what are we doing? Is that menu? Press and hold for menu. System information. Hardware, oh God knows what any of that stuff is. Factory setting, language English, volume. Low, thank you. Backlight high, middle, low. Middle's fine, isn't it? Capacity limit on. Not sure what that means. Auto charge in 3 seconds. So I guess that's when you pop a battery in, it will start charging it after 3 seconds. Cycle display. I'm going to guess that means the voltage and current. And that's it. Let's change that so that we don't have 5 seconds is fine, isn't it? Let's go back, up and down. What do they do? Nothing. I guess we just throw a battery in. You've got, that's interesting actually. We've got a display at the top there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it says 12.2 volts and that's going to be the incoming voltage. That is interesting. Let's throw a battery in and see if it auto detects. Task charge, current 1 amp. What is this? A 2300 milliamp hour cell. That's probably okay. So it's detected it as a, does it even say? So task charge, battery auto. It should already be going. Okay. So we've got, it's at 1.33 volts, 1 milliamp hour in. It doesn't give me any other information. We do have a graph building itself at the bottom of the display here. Let's come in a little bit and see if you can get a better view of that. Try not to focus too much on it, otherwise it does those weird aliasing things. So yeah, you've got a graph building up. That is, what is the graph of? We'll see when it changes. So we're currently at 1.35 volts. Is that what that graph is showing me, the voltage? I'm going to read the manual quickly while you guys watch that display slowly rev up. My guess is that is voltage. So, in the manual, we have actually got a diagram here. Let's focus down on that, shall we? There we go. Oops, sorry. So, number 7. The voltage curve. So that is what it is. So we've got, it's slightly annoying. It doesn't say what kind of battery it is, what it's detected, but it may just be that that's what happens on the automatic thing and we can select the specific battery if we want to. So you can see our voltage is going up 1.37, 26 milliamp hours in. So let's terminate that now, just take that battery out. Now we can put other kinds of batteries in here, and I think we will. That screen does not show up well. So I have an 18650 here, a Uniross 18650, so we'll stick that in. And I guess it can go in the top or the bottom slot, so let's just try the top one. Does it fit in? Yeah, just about. Okay, so again, it doesn't say what it's detected it as, but it does say it's 3.6 volts. It's going to begin charging at 1.5 amps. So what it must have realized this is a higher voltage battery and has decided it can charge it at a higher rate. So 1.5 amps on a 2004 amp. Actually, I don't know the capacity. Oh no, I do. There it is. 2,400 milliamp hours. That's probably okay. These batteries can handle like 1C, can't they? Or more even. And I like this graph. I don't think it really tells you an awful lot apart from it's working, if I'm honest. You can certainly see it go up, but there's no markings on here to say what the value is. I guess you just look at that 3.6 volts, 3.9 volts and decide, well, it's close to charged, isn't it? Now it's 3.7. So you can't put an AA battery in here at the same time, but you can stick another 18650 in there or a 26650. I don't have one of those. So let's remove that battery for now because I want to show you what it looks like when charging 2 at the time. So we have one of these always going to catch fire batteries, trust fire lithium ion batteries. So let's throw one of those in a slot over here. It's fairly loose. Look at that. That may be the tolerance of this battery. That one's less loose. Those contacts would probably be bent out a little bit, but that's a bit disappointing. So it's detected this one as a lithium ion battery, so we can throw in another battery over here and see what happens. So again, it's not said what that one is. Let's jump over to the other one. This one says it's a lithium ion battery. It didn't say that for that the other one. Let's put another energizer in. Oh, that is not a rechargeable battery. There we go. I've got some other ones here as a GP battery. Most of my rechargeable batteries are really old. So it didn't say what it's detected as. Do we have another one of those? I can't see any of the other horrible rechargeable batteries. In fact, we have one of these, so let's throw a AAA in there. Oh, it turns out that you can't charge a AAA in there. They go in the in-between section. Look at that. Okay. So AAA batteries go in there, sort of. That doesn't look very central, does it? I'm not convinced about the placement there. Let's try that again. There we go. You just have to be a bit more careful about putting it in. So that's where your AAA batteries go. So you can charge 2 AAAs at once. Interesting. So we can see that our lithium ion battery has terrible capacity. I don't know what it is, but it's basically almost at 4.2 volts. So we'll leave that for a minute so we can see it go to 100% and see if it makes a noise or anything. And this is our nickel metal hydride battery. You can see an odd curve there. I don't know whether I disconnected it at some point, but you can see that the voltage went up and then dipped. Interesting. I don't know why that would be. And this is our first battery. This is the little AAA battery. It's charging at 0.5 amp, which someone said before that they think that's too high. I don't think it really matters. I've been using this one for a long time. I wouldn't want to charge it at 1C, but this is a 750 milliamp hour AAA battery, so 0.5. Sorry about that, I just dropped my recorder. So we're almost finished on this battery here at 99%, and it's cycling through these displays, as you can see. So it's going to auto cycle through, I think. So I assumed that that would be auto cycling through the milliamp hours, the charging current and the voltage, but actually it displays everything at once, which is pretty great. I wonder how much this charger uses just with the display on itself. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's coming from the wall wart, so it doesn't matter. But let's leave this going. You can see that we're 318 milliohms. So it's reading the battery's resistance. So I'll come back in a second and we'll see what it looks like. Right, well, it seems this one has finished. We've got a little green tick there and it made a horrible noise. And I'm glad it's on low because that was kind of loud. So you can see that it shows our final stats here, 17 milliamps. It took this much time, our final voltage and the resistance of the battery. Cool. Right, let's take everything out and we'll start a discharge cycle. Heaven knows how to do that. So if I just pop it in here and change the thing, so discharge at not 1 amp. Let's go with, oh, do you know what? Let's just do it. 1 amp's fine, whatever. So we've chosen lithium ion, or actually it detected that for me because it looked at the voltage. So let's start that. This probably won't take very long because this battery is old and I don't think it's a very high capacity whenever it was purchased, honestly. So we're already down to 4 volts. The other thing we can do is a discharge. Oh no, we actually can do a different thing. So let's throw this one in while it's doing that, and then we can change this and let's go with analysis. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's going to look at the resistance of the battery. I'm not sure why current's involved, but let's just go for it and see what that does. So according to the manual, the analysis function is used when your batteries are stored for a while, but it doesn't say anything else about it, which is odd. So it looks like it's just charging the battery? Or is that discharging the battery? Hang on, oh, the number's going down here. So actually we're discharging at 1 amp, and this curve here is actually the milliamps, I think, milliamp hours. That's what it looks like. Now the other thing that I'm interested in, I'm not interested in all the functions of this because honestly, it's already doing the things that I want it to do. But let's have a little look at some other functions, not functions, but features. So let's stick one of these in the wrong way around. Please don't blow up in my face. Holy, okay. So it tells me that the battery's in the wrong way around. That's good. Let's try, I mean, what's this discharge thing doing? So we've taken 39 milliamps out so far and we're already down to what it assumes is 50% of the battery. There's not a lot of capacity in these things. Certainly not a 1 amp. I mean, it really is, this thing's probably more like 350 milliamp hours as a capacity. So we'll just take that out for now. What does it do with a non-rechargeable battery? Okay, it tries to charge it. All right, I would have thought it would see some resistance there, but I don't know how that works. So just remember, don't charge non-rechargeable batteries. Although I was at work the other day, a colleague of mine was recharging these AA cells that go in one of our audio recorders, and they'd put a couple of non-rechargeable cells in there for over 5 hours and nothing bad happened. So maybe that is okay. Let's try putting one of these in reverse. I mean, it is a bit terrifying to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so you can see these come up actually on the other side here. So so rather than these ones which are all down here in a row, that's nice. It's a nice feature, but these ones pop up on here. Okay, I kind of like this. So let's have a quick look at our discharge function. So we want to discharge. What currents can we do it at? So 1.5 amps, that's a lot. And I want a low discharge. Oh, that's perfect. At 0.1 amp, so 100 milliamp discharge. So when I'm going to do these battery tests of all these different types of batteries I've got, including that really weird one. Oh, here it is. The really weird one that's definitely a lie. I'm going to be doing it at about 200 milliamps, I think. Maybe 100, but that would take an age for some of the high capacity ones. So might have to go somewhere in between, like 300 milliamps, but it's good that it goes down that far. So let's select that. What battery types can we select? So nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, nickel zinc. So these options will tell it when to stop discharging. So if I were to select lithium ion when I don't have one in there, it would immediately stop because this is down to 1.2. So Annnnd is listed on here. I'm not sure why. They're just nickel metal hydrides, aren't they? Maybe they have a slightly different discharge curve or charge curve. I wouldn't imagine so though. And just normal nickel metal hydride. So we go on start there. And this is going to discharge it. So you can already see down here actually we've got 74 listed as its imagined capacity. So at 1.34 volts, it assumes that this nickel metal hydride, maybe that's also based on the milliohms reading of resistance of the battery, assumes that we're at 74% capacity. Interesting. Well, I quite like this charger. I think the interface is nicer than the BT C3100, which is all this LCD thing, which you know is fine, right? Buttons, physical buttons are really nice, but this capacitive sort of touch display thing, really good too. What happens if I press and hold? Okay, so we can alter what's happening. And it pauses it as well, so it's no longer active. Ah, interesting, okay. It looks like you have to take the battery out and put it back in again in order to... Yeah. Okay. So you can just have it sit there and do nothing. So once it's over, I guess. Well, there we go. That has been the ISDT C4 smart charger. Links in the description if you want to have a look at one. Don't buy it from those links if you don't want to. They're going to be affiliate ones. So there's a bit of the big bad there, isn't there? But whatever, it's an interesting charger. I like it. I'm going to be using this one, I think, maybe for those charger tests. I don't know how long that's going to take. A while, I imagine. So I'd forgotten this, but the fan noise. People like to ask about that. So this is charging 4 AA cells at 1 amp each. You can see they're all at 1 amp. And the fan has come on. So let's... Oh, and that stopped. Maybe it'll come on again in a second. Well, I assume it's just tripped the temperature thing and it's gone back down, so maybe it'll come back on in a minute, but it definitely comes on. It's not overly loud. It would be annoying if it was next to you on a desk, I have to say. It did frighten me. I was just uploading all the footage to the computer and it popped on. I was like, God, what is that? But no, it's the fan, which I'd forgotten. So it's quite a loud little fan, but it seemed to do the job pretty quick there. It was only on for a couple of minutes and then it's gone off again. So it's going to cycle, I imagine, when it starts heating up. So this is still charging at all of these at 1 amp. So this is 4 amps going in. The power supply is a little bit warm, but not very much. So yeah, quite like it still.